Well, hi there, and I'm going to be showing you how to make a cafe mocha drink. I've already boiled the kettle, so there's no need to do that now. And what I do, see this cafetiere there? I rinse it out first with hot water. Just don't let it sink it in, you can see that, that's pretty obvious. There's the cafetiere, and it's not the best lighting in the world, but it is night time here, and I've got my kitchen light on for that, so I'm doing this video more for fun anyway, so I'm not terribly worried about how much lighting there is and how good quality it is, as long as you can sort of see kind of what I'm doing here. So yeah, here's the holder for coffee beans I've got, and you know what, maybe I will actually do it the other way around if there's more light. So let's see. I'm just going to take that. No, do it like that. Hopefully you'll be able to see more now. Right, so there's a special spoon here, so I call these the coffee spoon. And the way I do it, see here now, I'm scooping some coffee, ground coffee, it's already been ground, out of there, and if you can sort of see the top of that, hopefully you can, even if it's vaguely see it, has to be flat on the top, like the spoon's full, but like flat. And what I do, very simple, just, and then I tend to do one more, because I mean it's filling like half a mug's worth. You don't generally need more than two of this. If you want a little bit extra strength though, maybe like add another half. Sometimes I do. I want it a bit extra strong. So there we are. Okay. Now I might reboil the kettle once more, actually, because well, just a little bit anyway, because it's winter time in Scotland and it's freezing cold outside. And even though my windows are virtually closed, if it's just slightly open, so at least a little bit of air can come in. At the same time though, I don't like to, it still gets affected indoors, even after having heating on for absolute ages, so yeah. What I believe in doing is just pour a little bit of water in, to about just so, like, yeah. And then let it breathe. Ground coffee breathe and soak in it for like a minute. And in the meantime, while doing that, now in this mug, I'm going to get some cocoa powder. I tend to find the same coffee spoon as earlier, about 1.5 of these should suffice. Oh, a little bit spilt over the side, so I might do slightly more than 1.5. We do it in the mug. You don't do it in the cafetiere thing, you do it in like the mug. Right. There we are. Hopefully I'll have to rinse this off now because it wants to be slightly moist and wet on the inside. Because it's, I don't know, these things happen. Shit happens in life. Now the next thing to do, don't be in too much of a hurry to add your water, because just put the cocoa away, because here what you need to do is some honey. See, I don't know, I like to be a little bit generous with it. There we are, that's quite a good bit of honey. And if just in case you want a little bit of extra sweetness, maybe just a spoonful of sugar, or half a spoon will do for me. There's my teaspoon. Sugar spoon. It's slightly bigger than an ordinary teaspoon. And okay, I'm going to fill the kettle once more, and then do the rest. So then what I do is I fill it up to about halfway, and that should suffice. Ever so slightly more. That'll be perfect. So now, oh yeah, and then I need to add a little bit of water to the cocoa bean honey sugar mix. Not much though, just a little. Up to like about there, if you can see that. Not much, just a little bit. And you stir it reasonably vigorously, but don't overdo it. I think it's quite thick. Maybe I'll add just a teeny weeny bit more water. Okay, and then stir the rest like so. Now sometimes I need to switch to the bigger mug, depending how full this is, before I then go on to add the frothy milk I'm going to still make in a few minutes. It was very nice. Test this. Maybe a little bit more water actually. It takes a bit of trial and error figuring out what's right for you. Just add a tiny bit at a time, because the last thing you want is to make it too thin inside. You don't want it too thick, and you don't want it too thin either. So that's about right. That's perfect. So now this is brewed for a couple of minutes. You don't actually need to brew it for longer than that, and I think it's had more than enough time to do its thing by now. So the coffee. So slowly plunge it like that, and then you pour in the mug like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch this into my other mug. Yeah. The thing is, the smaller mug holds the temperature better than the large mug. So I'll stir it in the small mug, and I'll just hold it for like a minute. I'll take the big mug out. I'm not going to bother transferring it yet from the small mug into the big mug. See there? Oh no, I've spilled a bit over it, because I want to still make the frothy milk part. And as I said already, the temperature in the small mug tends to hold better. But as maybe just an extra, I'll transfer the between the big mug, because it's fine. But as an extra sort of measure, precautionary measure to hold the heat. You don't have to do this, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist in the small mug. You can even just cover it with a napkin like that. That's what I'm doing. Okay, and then what I do is I'll rinse this off in the sink. That's pretty self-explanatory. You just lift the plunger out and then you rinse it off in the sink and pour out. And then that to one side. Get the milk jug. And now I'm going to get the milk out the fridge. And then, I'll tell you what I do now. What I'm going to do, I don't need that much milk. Yeah, about a third full, a third to at most half full of this jug, milk jug. Don't need actually, yeah, that should be enough. It's based on personal preference. I don't like mine to be too milky, so I tend to start off pulling it to near half full, and then I pour a bit out. I say that's just me, because I have a little bit less than I usually would have for when I'm doing breakfast type of thing, or wheat bix or something. I usually have enough for a minute and 10 seconds when it's for breakfast. For this, there's a little bit less milk in it, so I don't want to, like, when there's less it heats quicker, so it doesn't need to be on for as long, so I'll just do it for a minute. So then what I do is leave it on for a minute, no longer than that. this is the exciting part coming up in a minute. Right, well, now that that's about almost halfway through heating, may as well now pour the coffee cocoa mixture into the large amount. Just got to be quite careful how we do this. Quite hot, so. And even now it's a little bit more than half full, so all I have to do is drink a bit. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, just a little bit sweeter than that. So what I'm going to do is add another half-ish, 2/3 of a teaspoonful, sugar spoonful of sugar. That should be enough. A little bit of cocoa left inside the smaller mug. Yeah, sometimes I just like it to. I don't know why I find it a little bit easier sometimes making the cocoa part and coffee in a small mug, you know, and then transfer into the larger mug afterwards. It makes it a bit more interesting, exciting as well. You know, the process that you're going through, type of thing. Should be hot enough by now. So what you do, you pour into the cafetiere like so, and let's get the plunger part, and then it's best to start at the top part. Do a quick little movement like that. And gradually work your way down, go a little bit deeper, larger movements, just like I'm doing. Going sort of in between, like that. It's like flossing your teeth in a way, though a wee bit more complicated than that. It takes practice, experience. You get experience and you practice it. Oh, sometimes I don't mind a little bit of froth coming out because I know that the job's done. It means success. A little bit of froth comes out. Generally speaking, that usually means you've got it done. So I like to rinse everything out quickly to save time. You have to worry about afterwards. So, and sometimes just milk it a few times first before you pour it back into the milk jug. And the reason it's good to do this, the froth tends to be at the top, right, of the cafetiere. If you pour the froth in, pour it like that, upside down, it's obviously going upside down the milk. Then the froth will be at the bottom of the jug, see, because that's what falls in first, at the very bottom. So it's the way you want it to be now, you see, in the milk jug, because you want the real frothy part to come in last, at the very top of the mug, you know. So hopefully it'll work. I'll just sip a. It should be hot enough. Sometimes I like mine really hot, so I'll put my mug in for about 10 seconds. Yeah. So what I tend to do, I just knock it a few times, about 8 times 12, and then I start pouring. Sometimes I find a teaspoon helps a wee bit. Sometimes just to loosen it up a little bit, I use a teaspoon, and then come on, froth, where are you? See, it doesn't always come off quite how you want it to, but oh, look at that, look at that. And then at the very end, to do a little bit of hot chocolate at the very top. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those heart shaped things, so I don't know how to do a heart on here, but I'll try. It won't be easy. Oh, I've tried creating a bit of a heart shape. Yeah, I think I've done okay. Look at that. Oh, which way around is it? Well, you should be able to see that by now, surely. Aye. Okay. Well, here's the best part. Fantastic.